Hi there. Welcome to the contract explanation series, and today we are going to explain few of the contracts which we have with us, and which are divided into three most categories. Where the very first category is the easy one, in which we will explain one contract, that how the storage function works. Then we have intermediate and then hard. So it will go video by video. In this particular video, we will only go for the simple storage contract. So at any particular time, you can visit to the Remix ID website, and from there you can fetch. You can copy this contract and play along with it, whatever is going to be explained you there. So let's get started. So the contract starts with the very first line, and it says what is the license identifier we are using. So in this particular contract, we are using GPL 3.0. You can go with MIT, you can go with unlicensed, you can go with Apache or any other license you want. So then the next line which it asks you, it says that it requires some kind of solidity progma version. So here we have utilized any version which is greater than 8.2 and less than 0.9. So any version in between this particular series can work with our contract. So the contract start with the name itself, contract, and as you know that the solidity is a contract oriented language, and all the contracts will always start with the keyword contracts. Then this is the name of the contract, and right now here we have the name of the contract as storage. Since this particular contract will store some number, and will show you that how this thing is working. So this will store some number, and then later on we can retrieve that number from the other function. So let's get started. Then in the contract itself, the very first thing which we are initiating is we are defining one number which is of type UN256. Right now this particular variable will not be visible to everyone. If we make it public, then it will be visible to the end user, and he from there he can list its value. So the second function we have is the store function. So in the store function, we are taking one parameter, accepting one parameter, and that parameter will stored into the number variable which is initiated at line number 12. So here, like the function, then store, since this is the name of the contract, then public means it will be visible, and then it has this particular line which says that whatever number which you are going to do, which will be stored into this particular number. So later on, if we wanted to fetch what is the value of that particular number, we can fetch that value by retrieve function. So the retrieve function is public function, and it is a view oriented function, which means you can't manipulate this function, but you can only view. Then it will return something, and it will return a UN256 integer, which is the number which is initiated here. So this is how this particular contract works. So let's deploy this particular contract and see that how these functions are working. So in the deployment, for deployment, we need to click on this particular button, and then we can select our remix provider. You can go with MetaMask or any particular wallet provider. We will go with the in-store value, whatever the virtual machine we have merged, we will go with that. And right now we can select from here, like we have a number of accounts separately available with fake ethers, and from those ethers we can deploy our contract. So this will be utilized. Then gas limit, then if we are initiating some value with our contract, then we can list it here. Then we can select which contract you wanted to deploy. It will only deploy those contract who are already compiled and doesn't have any error. So you can click on deploy button, and it will be deployed, and you can specify that if you wanted to it to be published on IPFS or not. So let's deselect it right now, and let's see that we don't have anything right there. So let's deploy the contract. So once we are deployed the contract, you see two things has been changed. One thing, the deployed contracts information listed here. Then the second thing, like something debug information which is available to us in this particular panel. So from here, and also you see that the deployment charges has been deducted from the account which from which we have deployed the contract. So, and in the deployed contract, we can see that what are the functions we have. So as you already are aware that we have a function, a number variable, and right now like that variable, if you're not storing anything, it will always starts with 0, so it doesn't have any value. And if you wanted to retrieve this value, it will also return 0 since we have not stored any value. So let's store some value. Let's store 100 to this particular value. So if you click on this particular button, you will see that here there are 4198 ethers, like you can go with the last number. And always whenever a blockchain is tried to be manipulated, so it will always cost you some sort of ether. So once you store the contract, one more parameter has been generated here, and if you see the value, now the value has been converted into 100. And if you want to retrieve, it will also give you the value as 100. And also if you go to this, so some sort of ethers has been charged to you, since it tries to manipulate the blockchain. So that's how like it will cost you some sort of gas. So that gas has been charged from here. So this is how a particular simple storage contract work. In the next video we'll see that how the next directories function or next directories contract will be deployed and working, and all the functions will be listed. Let's see you there. Bye.